We know that MSNBC is notoriously in favor of the Democrats, provides cover for the Democrats, endless, nonstop anti-Trump content. But even with that in mind, here's how one of their analysts looked at the case today and commented on it.
This is epic. This is monumental. If things are going in the direction we think, Fani Willis lied to the court, it's game over for her. She will be disqualified if they had a relationship prior to when they represented to the court. It's a huge deal. I can't.
Okay, let's break through the cacophony. Have you ever noticed how cable news organizations suddenly change their stories? Fani Willis bombed on the stand, according to MSNBC's own analysts 1 Minute. The following morning, it's all about how she's misinterpreted, a hero and a victim. Fox News, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. The same game, different teams. Journalism is not what this is. This is political campaign public relations. In this video, I'm dissecting how Fox News and MSNBC both slant their content to further their own agendas rather than to educate you. We'll analyze Fani Willis's testimony, reveal how media spin operates in real time, and discuss why these outlets no longer give a damn about the facts. Being pro-Trump, anti-Trump, pro-Willis, or anti-Willis is not the point of this. It's about how important court cases are reduced to gossip pieces by the mainstream media, which diverts your attention from the facts. Let's begin.
With MSNBC, you never know. They might be out. Because what happens on cable news is that when news breaks, someone will accidentally be human and tell you something that's true.
True, yes.
And then by the next morning, Scarborough's team will be out there going, no, you gotta remember Joy Reid, etc. You gotta defend Fani Willis here. Fani Willis is good. Now, Scarborough's team includes, of course, his co-host, Mika Brzezinski. So let's see what she did this morning.
It's so interesting because you could definitely get from her testimony, Lisa, that she was angry for a number of reasons, and many of them she didn't bring up. She obviously doesn't like being lied about. She obviously doesn't like having her personal life dragged out into the open and also lied about. She mentioned several times in her testimony that she's had to move a lot because of death threats, even before the election trial began, because of other trials that she's presided over. I mean, this has been a tough job for her. And then to hear, this sideshow happen to try and delay the election interference case, this is her point of view. She was just, absolutely PO'd and got up on the stand because she was like, damn it, I'm just going to have to tell my own story to these people. Let's talk about these people. The Trump attorneys seemed bumbling. They seemed unprepared. They seemed completely surprised that she took the stand and had absolutely nothing prepared for her.
Told you. Okay, so yesterday their legal analyst watches it and says that was devastating against Fani Willis, and the other side seemed to prove their point really well. This morning, they've got the talking points in order now. No, it turns out Fani Willis was lied about. She's the victim. She has such a tough job. And the other side is a bunch of bumblers who had nothing at all, okay? Funny how that turned around overnight. And you could have different opinions on whether Fani Willis actually hired her boyfriend and whether they were going out at the same time. And I think it's a little bit closer than either the legal analyst or Mika's making out to be. But Mika's not done yet.
The unrelenting predictability of partisan coverage, especially from cable news behemoths like MSNBC and Fox News, is one of the most obvious trends in contemporary media. Reporting facts is no longer the main activity of these outlets. Instead, they accommodate their listeners' ideological inclinations. In this clip, CINC demonstrates how MSNBC, a network notorious for protecting Democrats, first permitted an honest moment when their legal analyst criticized Fani Willis's terrible day on the witness. However, as expected, the tone changed. The very following morning, the anchors immediately reverted to their previous pattern, focusing on portraying Willis as a victim instead of examining the case's merits. It's a classic tactic. After a day of human reaction, the party line was immediately adjusted. The testimony of Fani Willis served as a prime illustration of how stories may be made up quickly. Even MSNBC, which leans Democratic, admitted at first that she did not do well and that she might have deceived the court. By the subsequent broadcast, however, the emphasis had completely changed. The focus switched to her personal struggles rather than analyzing whether Willis had wrongfully recruited someone with whom she had a relationship. Talking heads focused on her battles with death threats, work-related stress, and her bravery. In the courtroom, her legal danger was brushed aside in favor of a compassionate portrayal that neatly avoided the main problem by portraying her as the victim of unfair attacks.
Watch one more.
This election interference trial has caused a danger to her life. So if you're wondering why she's angry, is that this has led to such an upheaval in her life in so many different ways to serve and to try and take this case to fruition, and then to have this happen, that would cause someone to be very, very angry. I know I'm going to get to a question, but I just want to point out, it's bad when you turn on Fox News and they start talking about her demeanor, her behavior, her looks. I mean, it shows that there's probably a problem with the case that they think they have against her. I thought she was fiery. I thought she said important things.
She said important things. Yesterday we were telling you that it seemed like she was lying when a legal analyst was being honest for a second. Now all of a sudden we're turning around and say she's being lied about. She's the victim. And they're making comments about her appearance. Racist. That's not the issue. Okay. But look, there's two reasons why we're telling you this. Number one, let's be honest. Hashtag Cenk was right. Okay. Okay, now in all seriousness, guys, there's a real point in here. Now, why do we show you our predictions and then show you them actually coming to fruition? Not to brag, but so that you guys know that this is predictable. When you have an agenda and you're not doing actual news, you will always go back to that agenda. So no matter what happens, and it's not just MSNBC. We've shown you this on Fox News too. A live event happens, someone is human for a second, goes, oh man, Trump looks really bad, right? And then by the next morning, they've recalibrated, they've got their new talking points. Trump looked fiery and fantastic, and that was just him being passionate, right? So they all do this, and I'm sick of it. None of them are in the news business. They're all in the propaganda business. It's just different people that they're doing propaganda for.
Media outlets increasingly prioritize personality-driven publicity over the substance of court cases. Mainstream media has shifted focus from analyzing whether Willis's actions constituted wrongdoing to critiquing or praising her beauty, emotional state, or mannerisms. Fox News employs a similar strategy, but in reverse, catering to a different audience. This results in audiences often missing the true points of complex legal issues, reduced to superficial comments. The central issue isn't justice, but whether viewers rally behind a character rather than ideals. Propaganda has supplanted journalism, evident in the perpetually politicized framing of stories. Fox News and MSNBC, once reputable, now function more like political ad campaigns. They craft stories to reinforce existing biases rather than present facts. Anything diverging from their narrative is either buried or spun quickly. Instead of confronting difficult truths, audiences are fed beliefs that validate their worldviews. This isn't just about Trump or Willis, it's about how media transforms legal concerns into divisive ideologies. Fox News and MSNBC are clear examples. They don't inform, they incite discussion. This cycle is exhausting. My challenge is to demand more, hold everyone accountable, the media, legislators, and prosecutors. Look beyond the noise and ask the tough questions. Without this, truth is lost, leaving only propaganda disguised as news. If you found this breakdown useful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. See you next time.